Good evening and welcome to tonight's United View. Yes, I'm still got the top on. Usually I throw it off and get ready by this time to jump straight into bed. But no, we're ready to go. We're raring to go. We've got 4 people on the panel raring to just chat about that Spurs game. I mean, I don't know about you, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I wasn't confident. I was relatively shitting myself at the thought of the game, but you know what, it all worked and it all worked out. Let's introduce you to tonight's panel. On the show tonight, of course, we've got your views. Make sure you tweet us at the United View, subscribe and comment in the comment box as well. On the show tonight, talking to you, we've got our favourite South African. He's with us tonight. Barry, thank you for trying again and thank you for coming on, mate.
Thanks very much. Lovely to be here, especially after a great win today.
Oh, I cannot wait to chat with you about that win. Also on the show this evening, he's back. It's the return of the Shaun. It's the return of the... Shaun's back on the show. How you doing, mate?
Hi, Ben. Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
That wasn't overhyped, that intro, was it?
No, do it again.
No, I won't. No, I won't. Oh, he helped us while I was away. He was brilliant on the Twitter account. Liam, thank you for coming on tonight, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for handing over the fork for that we used in Cyprus. No, really enjoyed it, and yeah, good 3-0 win for United.
Yeah, and actually, I'm looking forward to talking to you as well, because as a neutral, I just want to work out whether we were sublime today or Spurs were a little bit crap. But you know, we'll come to that in a bit. And also on the show this evening, it's our regular lady, Hayley. Thank you for coming on.
No problems. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, looking forward to this tonight. But first of all, we're not going to talk about the game. Make sure you tweet about it. We're going to have a big discussion about the game in just a moment. But it will be wrong with us to start the show without just getting something out of the way quickly. Of course, this morning we all woke up to Wayne Rooney all over the front of the Sun. Hayley, typical English newspaper looking to write a story, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically. Without being kind of rude or whatever, I'm just not really interested in the whole thing. I think what Van Gaal said was spot on. It's a non-story, and they have to sell papers, so they'll write whatever about England captain, Man United captain, and it's easy to sell paper with stuff like that. But he just came and kind of almost stuck 2 fingers up today and said, "So what? Scored a great goal and a great celebration. So yeah, whatever today."
That celebration is going to live on, isn't it? People are already calling it to be on next year's FIFA. I mean, I want that. So who knows? Shaun, I mean, he is England captain. He is the Man United captain. Should he be doing stuff like that, or is it a case of, look, it was a whole joke. Why are you acting like that towards it?
Well, apparently it was a group of friends in a private house. I think that question should be asked to whoever saw the video, to be quite honest. Yeah,
no, true. Liam, as a neutral, obviously we're going to back Rooney. He's our captain, etc. What did you make when you saw the video and you saw the headlines this morning?
Yeah, it's not the first thing you expect to see in your Sunday morning. Phil Barsley knocking out Wayne Rooney. But yeah, like Hayley said, you know, the Sun will do anything to make a bit of money with the newspapers. But then again, I guess he's an adult and he's just, you know, has he got nothing better to do with his time, you know, having a fight with Phil Barsley, you know, and there was a case of everyone was moaning that the table and the chair was near his head. It could be a lot worse, but look, it's what it is. He's an adult. He does what he wants. He's on 300 grand a week, so he probably doesn't really care. But you know, he got the goal and yeah, he shoved it right in everyone's media's face pretty much today.
Yeah, no, that is true. But then, of course, Barry, there is that argument. He was, I don't know if you've seen the video. It doesn't look like Phil Barsley actually punches him. I think he goes back and it's a bit of a joke. But he did go back and down right next to a table. I mean, if he had hit his head, that could have been serious. And even some doctors are saying today on radio and on TV, he should have gone to the doctors anyway if he was knocked out, or just because of how hard he hit the floor. So is it a bit silly, or where do you stand on it?
I think that, firstly, because it's Wayne Rooney, it'll be sensationalised. You guys in the UK don't realise how lucky you are that you wake up to the newspapers giving you sensational sports stories, whereas here in South Africa, I wake up to stories usually of corrupt politicians. So be grateful for that. I think that it is a bit of sensationalism. I think he was probably fooling around a bit. But certainly if he did lose consciousness, speaking now as a doctor, he definitely should have gone for a medical assessment and, in fact, a brain scan. But to me, it looked as if they were kidding around. It didn't look like a serious punch. And if it's not Wayne Rooney, I don't think it makes the newspapers, quite honestly.
Yeah, no, that is true. And as Hayley said, Van Gaal said, it's a nothing story. They're not going to take any action. The club aren't bothered. Rooney's not bothered because at the end of the day, Manchester United tonight are celebrating a 3-0 win at home to Spurs. I mean, Shaun, you see the team sheet. You're going into the game. What was you thinking as you saw the team sheet? A bit of confusion about where Mata was going to play. If Blind would be able to keep up with Townsend. Were you a bit nervous?
I was nervous. Yeah, my tweet at the time when I seen the team sheet was, "Our playmakers playing on the right while we have a tree playing in a playmaking role." Well, he came and shut me up, didn't he? Fellaini today was just absolutely immense. I think Gary Neville gave him a man of the match. I think it was fully deserved. Although we did have Carrick, he wasn't far behind. Rooney wasn't far behind, but as a team, apart from the early mistake from Phil Jones, or near mistake with that back pass, and I think probably only one of two saves that De Gea had to make, I think the whole team had a pretty good game.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. I thought apart from the Jones errors, Hayley, we come on every week and we talk about the defence, don't we? Really? I believe it was 2 minutes, 2 mistakes, 15 minutes, 3 mistakes. De Gea's hardest save of the game was probably that Phil Jones back pass. I mean, when's the torture going to end?
Oh, sorry, you were talking to me?
Yeah, sorry, I was talking to you.
Oh, sorry, totally missed that. Yeah, well, it's a weird one because that kind of scary moment in the second minute, I think it was, where Phil Jones passed it back, and obviously De Gea kind of was a really good save actually, because at first I was thinking no, that wasn't goal bound, and then I saw the replay and I was like, God, yeah, that was definitely going in. So obviously great start with a foot by De Gea, but yeah, that kind of start made me think, oh God, here we go again, got to be nervous all game, and it's going to be absolutely torture. And then for some reason, it just we kind of looked like we just got some self-belief, some confidence, relaxed, and it was just a different game. But yeah, I think the problem is Phil Jones does have that in him, that mistake, and we're not going to be able to get away from that. I don't think he's going to eradicate that totally, which is why, unfortunately, I feel that we will need to buy, we all sort of talk about it all the time, we will need to buy a proper sort of world-class centre-back. But yeah, I mean, I do think that Smalling and Jones did well overall today. I think that we kept them at bay, and we looked in control. A lot of that obviously was down to the midfield. Carrick was fantastic, but we controlled the match. And when we needed, in set pieces, I thought we were good. In particular, they had a few corners and whatnot knocked in, and we got those away. So I'm not going to give the defence a hard time, because at the end of the day, it's another clean sheet against, Harry Kane in particular was kept quiet by Smalling, who I thought was the best of the defence, along with Blind, and I think they did well. So I suppose, despite that mistake, you still get a pat on the back, definitely.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I've got to agree. And to be honest, you did mention him then, Hayley, Chris Smalling a little bit. Barry, I want to come over to you. You've watched United for plenty of years. You've not made your feelings kind of not heard. You've made your feelings known that this is probably the worst United defence you've probably ever seen. To be honest, Smalling today, credit where credit's due, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
Yes, I have to say that I thought Smalling was excellent today. What I liked about him was that he took the ball out of defence many times, and he had a fair bit of pace. He beat a few men. His distribution we won't talk about, because he overhit 3 or 4 balls at least. But I really liked the way he carried the ball out of defence today. He looked like a man on a mission, and was about the best game I've seen him play all season. I'd like to know Phil Jones's back pass in the beginning of the game. When we looked at the statistics, does that count as a shot on target? Because it was certainly going in. So I enjoyed the defence today. I put a question mark over the fullbacks for our next game, though, because for me, Valencia, I don't like the way he defends, and I think he's a bit of a square peg in a round hole, to quote that old cliche. But really, to criticise today, I can't. It was a fantastic performance. You've asked me to talk about the defence, but for me, the hallmark of today was the pace at which we played the game. And I thought the midfield were fantastic today. They were mobile, they were quick, their passing was crisp, and I love seeing Mata and Herrera playing together. I think they're a great combination together.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree, and I'm looking here today. Paul agrees with you, and he says the defence attacked the ball today. All played well at the back. Not great distribution, but Smalling had some good runs though, which is basically echoing what you was just saying. Also, having a look at Flimflam is asking if Shaw is injured. I'm not sure, but to be honest, before the game, I saw about Daley Blind playing left back. Straight away, I was worried about his pace, but I'm also looking at another comment here. From Young Sino, it says Young helped Blind out a lot, and he did. They worked well together, and they complemented each other on the attack as well, which was brilliant to see. And Fred Jones also says Blind at left back was brilliant. However, him against Sterling, we'll come to that a little bit later on. Liam, we'll come over to you, mate. I mean, we're talking today about obviously Smalling having Kane in his back pocket, Jones playing all right actually, and Jeff Peters has just said Spurs have had one attempt on goal today, not including the Jones attempt. So, were Spurs rubbish today, Liam, or did United play really well?
Well, considering it took Spurs till the 89th minute to actually get a shot on target, you know, I don't know how that says it about how poor they were today. But then again, I don't want to take anything away from United because it's probably the one game this season where I've seen that confident Manchester United win. And, you know, I don't think you can take anything from them. You know, you've got to be positive about this game. You know, they're a team who are challenging for full spot as well. And yeah, it was a hard game in some perspectives of the pressure and what it was going to be. You know, obviously I like to see Falcao praising him up, and he did get a bit at the end. Would have started with Rafael instead of Valencia, but you know, apart from that, it's 3 points at the end of the day. But yeah, Spurs were pretty diabolical. I mean, to let Rooney get the third goal, he went past about 4 players. You know, even just taking down for a yellow card if you use a Spurs defender. But yeah, they weren't amazing, but it's 3 points and it's 3 goals from United.
Yeah, and it's a great performance as well. Confidence, as you said, must be high after that. Shaun, I'll come to you and talk about the goals. I know you're a very, very happy man. Lovely to see Fellaini. Great goal set up by Michael Carrick. And then the second goal. Do you want to talk a little bit about Michael Carrick scoring, Shaun?
Yeah, I have said for weeks and weeks before he got injured that Carrick would score. He was my ever-present in my predictions. And I wasn't on the preview, so obviously I wasn't asked, but I would have said Carrick, so I would have got one right.
Yeah, they says that now. Hayley, you would have said Fellaini to score, wouldn't you? Yeah, you would have said Fellaini to score. I would have gone with
Of course I would. This is the one time, of course, the one time I don't give a prediction and kind of play it reserved is the one time we actually smash somebody, and I'm always like optimistic, we're going to do it, and then today I said nothing and we won. So I feel like I'm responsible a little bit, you know. I just shut my mouth and said, could be a draw, whatever, and then we won. So
I think what's great is what you've basically just said, Hayley, is you're not having me on any more preview shows. I'm not saying anything before kickoff ever again. Well, I've got to say, looking at the goal, Shaun, Carrick, a lovely header, wasn't it? And then Rooney's goal. I mean, that's why Rooney is a striker, Shaun, isn't it?
Absolutely. I will say, I have always said that I think Rooney will make a brilliant midfielder, but when his career is sort of coming to an end. He is a striker, he is a world-class striker, he should be playing as a front man. I'm not sure how many goals he's got this season, but he would have had a hell of a lot more had he been playing up front all season. I think a kind of disturbing thing is like how poor Fellaini was last season, and the fact that he has scored the same amount of goals as Falcao this season. I really don't know where to go with Falcao, if I'm quite honest. I watched him play in the under-21s the other night, and he just kept looking to the sky in disbelief. And I don't really think he'd done an awful lot when he came on today. But no, back to today's goals. Yeah, 3 superb goals. Exactly what we needed for a bit of confidence, especially going into next weekend's game.
Yeah, no, and not only did Carrick get on a clean sheet, a lot of people's man of the match as well. I've got to say that. Mikey says Carrick's header was brilliant, so composed. Hello to Ashika, who says so pleased with Carrick's passing today, and hello as well to who's this? Hello to young Sino, who says why didn't Fellaini shoot with his left foot against Arsenal like he did today? Well, sometimes it takes a defeat like that to maybe learn from it. It's like Dean Rear with his red card. I'm hoping this is going to help him sitting out, watching, seeing how it goes. Barry, I'll come over to you, mate, because Gary sent me a message, and he says Chris Smalling thought he was Franco Baresi today. Great performance. More the same next week, please.
Yeah. Look, for next week, a very different story. We go into the cauldron of Anfield. Not an easy place to go, but it's all about confidence, and there's no reason why we can't go there and get a result. But we're going to have to defend. We're going to have to be very combative against Liverpool. It's a really tough place to go, but our record there is not too bad. Barring injuries in training, I guess we will probably see Smalling and Jones lining up as the centre-backs, and if Rojo is fit, we possibly will see him at left-back. But concerned about Daley Blint's pace or lack thereof against a very mobile Liverpool side. But then again, if you look at today, Spurs are also a very, very quick and mobile team. And when you look at the combination of Fellaini, Carrick and Blint, these are not the fastest lads on the block, yet they put across a very good account to themselves. We did fine. So I think we've got to build on today's game. And it's funny how fickle the media are. The media had written United off completely before this game. And by the man of the match, the Barclays man of the match was Fellaini. I did see that on our TV here. I would have given it to Carrick probably on the day. But there were several contenders.
Yes.
I loved Rooney's goal today. I thought, and Rooney scores his goals in batches. He's gone 3 in a row scoring now. I'd pick him next week. I think he'll play a key role in the game at Anfield.
Yeah, oh, sorry, Barry. I was going to say, talking about man of the matches, actually, we'll come to the panel now. We'll ask you all for your man of the matches because, for me personally, I thought Herrera was outstanding. I thought Ander Herrera was absolutely outstanding today, but I can also make a case for everyone apart from maybe Jones because of them few earlier errors. Everyone was just fantastic today, and I think that's why everybody's so happy. We had 11 great performances. Yes, De Gea only had to make one save. It was a good save, though, wasn't it? I mean, also the Jones one, he done well. So, Hayley, who would you have as your man of the match?
What you said was spot on. That's why everyone's so chuffed today. It's obviously the 3 points is massive against a top 4 kind of contender, but everybody played fantastic. It was so nice to actually see the team play as a unit, attack as a unit and defend together. And the midfield, I thought, as you said, Herrera was brilliant. I think he's improving defensively, and he just adds something. I just love him in that midfield, and he seems to be growing every game. And obviously Carrick was my man of the match. To answer your question, he even got on the score sheet, which is obviously a rarity for him. But his pass he picked out at the right time for obviously Fellaini's goal, and he brings something to our team that we really have lacked in these past. Ever since he's been out, we've really missed him. And the way he controls the midfield, and his long balls, obviously fantastic. His passing, I think he was my man of the match. But again, Fellaini, he caused them so much trouble. And that first time goal shot from him was just a confidence thing. I don't know if he would have tried that before, but we've got to just go for it now. I don't know whether that's something Van Gaal said before obviously the match. Looking at this whole kind of 10 cup finals thing, the bottom line is we have to start getting these wins against these big games, and whether that's led to this type of performance where we've just gone screw it, we need to just up our game and give it everything. And in that type of situation, maybe before Fellaini would have kind of tried to pass it or just shot at the goalkeeper and he buried it in the back of the net. And Rooney's goal was another example. Just went for it. There's nobody else on. Why not? Why try and hold the ball up? Why not just run at the defender? And again, he buried the ball in the back of the net, and we just we just looked good everywhere. Lint was fantastic down the left. He whipped some great balls in. We had goal disallowed in the second half, which has not really been mentioned much in the media because it's probably not really important. We still won 3-0. We had a lovely goal disallowed, which would have been 4-0, and it was onside by the looks of the replay. So we were just, the 3-0, the stats don't really kind of stack up to what the actual performance shows, because we did only have 3. I don't know if you saw, we had 3 shots on target, which doesn't look like a lot, but we were clinical and we just controlled it. They were not at the races. Of course, I agree. They weren't good today, but we kept Harry Kane quiet, who has destroyed Chelsea. Look what he did to Arsenal. Obviously, they had a really tough game against Liverpool. Liverpool just snatched in a 3-2 win, and they're not easy to play against. We haven't won since I think 2011-12 against Spurs. It's been ages, and everybody was kind of nervous before the game. And we've got to be proper chuffed with that, and delighted. I couldn't believe. I was really, really pleased.
I think the way to describe it probably is, Hayley, that when we did get a chance, we oozed quality. Sorry, we just looked decent, didn't we, on the ball? And whenever we done something with it, we looked good at it. Hello to Robert, who says, I have to say, I thought and Herrera was outstanding today. Hopefully, a sign of things to come. I don't usually stutter. I've been up since 4. I'm knackered. Look, Barry's up already. It's midnight over in South Africa, and the rest of us have got it easy. Liam, let's come over to you, mate. Who was your man of the match today? And by the way, if you're watching, subscribe, comment in the comment box. Let us know quickly who your man of the match was. Liam, who was yours?
I would probably go for Carrick. Just mainly for the long balls and the passes, and obviously the goal and the assists. And I think, he's that creative. For me, he's kind of that creative player today. I think, like Hayley said, this is what United really have missed. And I think, he was clinical for today's game, and obviously, like I said, 3 points, 3-0, and it looks like United might even get a second if they're lucky. So.
Oh, don't go there yet. Not yet, please. Maybe after Liverpool we start thinking about it, but not yet.
Go there.
Yeah, maybe in a little while. We might go there before the end of the show. Shaun, let's come over to you, mate. Who was your man of the match? You said Carrick, didn't you, earlier on? Do you stick by that?
No, I've changed my mind. The man of the match was the referee that sent Di Maria off last week.
Oh, there we go.
Because with Di Maria out today, we look so much better. Although, yes, no matter was playing out on the right, he and Herrera run the midfield along with Carrick behind. Because Carrick was behind them, obviously they had a little bit more freedom. But I just think that without Di Maria, we just seemed a lot better today.
Yeah. No, to be honest, my dad agrees with you. He doesn't like Di Maria at all. Like, give him time.
I just think because he is Angel Di Maria, we're trying our best to run everything through him. And because of who he is, he gets closed down quickly. I mean, he spends a lot of time on the ground. You watch Di Maria, he spends a lot of time on the ground, constantly looking for free kicks. I think going back to the beginning of the season, I think I said then that he's got to learn very quickly that this ain't La Liga. This is a much tougher league, and he can't just roll around on the floor and get a free kick every couple of minutes. It doesn't work like that in England. I'm wondering whether the English game is actually suited to his style of play.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? In La Liga, you get away with absolute murder most of the time. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the same can be said for Falcao as well. Is the English game, or is he suited to the English game? I don't think he is. I think Di Maria can get there. I think next season it's going to tell. Obviously, I read earlier that supposedly Van Gaal has said that he would be happy to let Di Maria go. Yeah. I'm not sure where that came from, but I know I definitely saw that earlier on.
Probably the sun, Shaun. Let's face it, probably the sun.
It may well have been the sun, but I don't know where it came from. But that just seems. Yeah, why would Van Gaal be saying that he'd be happy to let him go? If it was someone along the lines of Phil Jones or Chris Smalling, then I could understand, I could see, or maybe believe that rumour. But I can't see that Van Gaal would come out and confirm that he'd be happy to see Di Maria go.
I think the problem with a lot of things that Louis Van Gaal says at the moment, it's getting wrongly translated because he half the time doesn't know what he's saying in English, I don't think. So a lot of it, I believe, is getting wrongly translated. I have got to say, though, someone on the panel who's using their speakers to hear us, there's terrible feedback. So can you double check how loud you are? Someone on the panel. So Barry, Hayley, Liam, can you just have a look? Hello to Galen, the United writer. He says, man of the match, Carrick, great assist and goal, kept us ticking in the midfield. Hello to the United man as well. Man of the match has to be Davy Blind because he outplayed everyone, even when he wasn't playing in his right position. A lot of people going for Carrick. Mikey goes for Carrick. Pasha goes for Fellaini or Carrick. Big plaudits for Herrera in there as well, and Ashley Young. But, yeah, as I said, for me, Herrera, I just believe he played really well today. But the panel, by the looks of it, are going for the referee against Arsenal, Carrick, and Barry, you said Carrick as well, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Carrick, it's the vote. It's done. It's like the election. Carrick was man of the match. We'll quickly come over to you, Barry. So with that win, we of course go to Liverpool. We'll talk about Liverpool in a minute. But we're going to go to Liverpool now, surely with high confidence, aren't we? And we couldn't have played much better today, could we?
Yes. So I think that I think we've probably correctly so most of the season been quite critical of the team. And I think that it's important to state that criticism shouldn't be misconstrued for disloyalty. I think we're all very, very loyal United fans. And this was the United of old. You know, there's that kind of loose term, playing football the United way. And this was the United way, the sort of swashbuckling team performance. And I felt that United were freed up by the absence of Di Maria today. I enjoyed not having him in the team. I agree with Shaun. I think that way too much has been played through Di Maria. There's been a lot of pressure put on him, and he hasn't acclimatized very well to the game. So I think we've got to give him time. I liked the formation today. I enjoyed Ashley Young's wide play. He's enjoyed a new lease on life this season. He's really been good. And I think that he puts in a shift. He gets back and he helps the left back. So credit to him for that. And going into the Liverpool game, we'll obviously go into that game with a lot of confidence. It would be nice to see Liverpool get a thrashing by Swansea tomorrow night and let them, suffer a little bit. But they're a tough nut to crack. I think I'm right in saying their last league defeat was at Old Trafford. They've been the form team, and it's a different story come next Sunday. But we can get a result there, no question about it.
Yeah, and of course we need a result there, really, don't we? Hayley, quickly come over to you. I mean, looking at how we played today, with that, I believe it's more of a 4-3-3, wasn't it, formation that we played today? Do you think that should be the Louis Van Gaal way? We should play like that every week?
Well, I think he said, didn't he, at the start of the season, before we even kicked a ball, so in pre-season, that 4-3-3 was his preferred, obviously his preferred formation, but we didn't have the players that he wanted or the players required for the formation. So, I mean, we've gone over so many different options. We've tried, obviously, the 3-5-2, played that kind of semi-successfully for a while in the sense that we actually, put a good run of wins together, although kind of very poor performances along the way. Obviously we beat Arsenal away, we beat Southampton, so that was a very good run for us result-wise, not good performance-wise. And we've tried various options, and it just looks to be working for us. I like the width, and even Mata today was in a role that normally we would think he would be quite limited, but we haven't even mentioned Mata yet. I thought he was brilliant today. Was so pleased for him. He looked chuffed when he came off, and I hope he's not injured. He went straight down the tunnel at sort of 80 minutes before the game ended. But yeah, again, he created and was just a big part of our play along with Herrera. So I think long term Louis will move towards 4-3-3, and he will make signings around that in the summer, and I think that's what we should do. I've got to say, I do disagree to a degree with the guys about Di Maria. I mean, obviously his form is, it's not been up to kind of standard. But you've got to look at the ball he whipped in last week against Arsenal for Rooney's goal to bring it to 1-1. It was just an absolutely world class cross. Obviously Rooney did fantastic, but I think we've got to be careful. I mean, he does need time, but I don't think this is the kind of stage where we should be, just leaving him out of the team. I think given some time, he will turn out to be, regularly playing what we expect. But there is, obviously there is a degree of frustration amongst fans at the minute because he's given the ball away a lot in dangerous positions, which it's just not on. He's almost kind of given a kind of opportunity for the opposition. I think it was maybe not the last game, but the one before that, right in the middle of the pitch, and it gave them a counter attack, and it was so dangerous. And he just needs. I think he needs to kind of just regroup himself and just realise that he's not guaranteed a place, which I think he's starting to see that anyway. There's a lot of competition, and hopefully he will come good. But we can't kind of give up and just bench him. I think we're gonna need to kind of play it quite carefully. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, I've got to say, Sati said it, the United man said it on our preview show. This suspension could be a blessing in disguise if he was out for 2-3 games, however long he's out for, even if it's just a one. He could be watching, he could be taking it in, and then that could help him realise what he needs to do himself. Let's not kid ourselves. Some footballs are a little bit arrogant. They do think they're brilliant. They are on that much money. They're allowed to. Paul says, Di Maria for me any day. Start him at Anfield if he's available. Helen said, who said anything about letting Di Maria go? Van Gaal mentioned something in his press conference. I think it wasn't anything too bad. Hello to Fred Jones, who says, Di Maria has never played in this league. Ronaldo in his first season was getting tackled and rolling around. It took him 2 seasons to get fully used to it, and he became the best player in the league. And King James says, but Ronaldo was 18 years old. Di Maria is 26 or 27. He's around 25, isn't he? Either way, the Di Maria debate will go on. If you want to get involved, comment in the comment box. Subscribe now. You can use it anytime we're on. Shaun, just to end our Spurs part of this, just want to quickly ask you, that's Spurs done. Must-win game out the way. Next one, another must-win game. What do you make of it? Is it still top 4, or with the other teams' performances, can we start thinking about top 2?
9 cup finals to go. I think if we can, out of those 9 games, win 6 and draw the other 3, or win 7, I think we can afford one more defeat. I think with the results over the weekend, obviously Chelsea and City dropping points, Chelsea are too far in front, 8 points ahead with a game in hand. I know we've got to play them. If we won that game, then obviously it's 8 points. I think I can't see Chelsea dropping enough points to lose, to not win the league. I think it's been Chelsea's league all season. Being 2 points behind second place, I think that makes it very interesting. It's going to be a very close run into the final games, and I think I done a tweet on the account the other day, just sort of saying that will it go down to the final day, or can we secure it before that, or will we be out of it before that? I've got a feeling that final game is going to decide where we do finish in the league. I don't want to be an Arsenal fan and celebrating finishing in 4th, but obviously that's been the target this season. I'd like to finish in 3rd. I know if we finish 4th, then we've got the Champions League playoff games, and I think we avoid that if we finish 3rd. So obviously that would help us in pre-season as well. I think we need to be targeting 3rd, really.
I think
and I have a funny feeling that we're going to be fighting for 3rd with City.
Well, I was going to say, I think we'll know what we're going for by the end of the Arsenal game, which is what, our 3rd to last game. I think we'll know whether we've got 2nd by then, or if we are going to just be fighting for 4th or 3rd. I reckon the United Arsenal game, I mean, it is our 3rd to final game, isn't it? United Arsenal, I believe, at Old Trafford.
Second.
Is it 2nd to last?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, that's the game.
Second to last.
Yeah, that's the game for me. That would be the game that decides top two. I don't know. I've got a funny feeling Arsenal might nick second, but we're in it. We're definitely in it. Let's move on, shall we? Let's start talking about Liverpool. Let's go on to our Liverpool preview. Reasons to be happy and optimistic. But Liam, Liverpool, obviously they pose a threat. We don't know how they're going to do. They play tomorrow against Swansea. This is of course Sunday night. So obviously we don't know what's going to happen now. We can't prejudge it. I'll go for a Swansea win though. What do you reckon about Liverpool this season, Liam? They had a slow start, but they're heading form now, aren't they?
Yeah, they picked up a few good results. I think pretty much 2015 has been the start of a kind of good year for them. I'm just looking at the table now. Man U with 56 points, Liverpool on 51. So, yeah, Swansea. I personally think this could be potentially the time of kind of deciding the gap of, Liverpool and United. I think Spurs, my opinion, I think they're out of it. Southampton, yeah, they picked up a point against Chelsea today. Potentially still in it, but I generally think it's Man U. I think it'll be out. I think at the end of the season, I think it'll be Man U, City, and Liverpool. Whoever finishes third, fourth, fifth. So they have obviously Daniel Sturridge. Obviously he's back now, but then they're coming back off the back of a 0-0 draw against Blackburn. So it depends. Brendan Rodgers. Obviously they want to try and finish maybe for Gerrard, try and get him back. Finish on his season for the Champions League. And obviously they're still in the FA Cup and against Wembley, but it's going to be like we all know what Liverpool United is, and it's going to be a really hard game. But I think if United can get free at Anfield, and it's a big ask, I definitely think United will get the top four.
Yeah, well, we can only hope so. I think that is a big game. I also pointed out Everton, another game in Scales Town. I think Everton's going to be huge as well at Goodison. Shaun, do you think that the spice has kind of been taken out of Liverpool United games, or do you believe it's still there?
Well, it's still there. Especially, I think it's going to be a really good atmosphere next weekend. There has been this massive gulf between the two, and I don't think that's being too disrespectful to Liverpool either. There has been the gulf between the two clubs, and it's they've closed that gap, or whether they've closed it or we've closed it by becoming poor, I'm not sure. They're certainly more on our level now than they have been for the last few seasons. You could possibly even go back, say over the last decade. It's going to be a spicy, feisty one next weekend, I think. It's all to play for.
Yeah. No, it is all to play for. And Barry, with our performance today, I mean, going to Liverpool, if we play against Liverpool the way we did today, is there going to be anything but a United win, or could it go horribly wrong?
I think probably I'm more a realist than an optimist, and I think that there are 9 games left, the 27 points to play for. So I don't think that we can write off any of the teams around us, and what a difference 1 week makes. Because last week we were being written off. Everyone, all the pundits thought we were going to lose to Spurs today. So I think that United-Liverpool is a very spicy affair. I think that I doubt that United will go there with the attitude, let's just not lose. They're going to go there to win. As a United fan, I'd probably be accepting if we came away with a draw before that game, because there's a lot to play still. If we lose to Liverpool, potentially they'll overtake us. In terms of where we can finish, I think the league can be given to Chelsea right now, but strange things happen. We're in the mix. We said at the start of the season, Champions League football. If we achieve that, I have to say I, for one, will be satisfied. And there's a lot to play for still. The problem also is when we play these teams down at the bottom. Bear in mind, we're playing Aston Villa, who hit a rich vein of form at the moment after a dismal sort of run of a few months. Our next 3 aways are Chelsea, Liverpool, and Everton, not in that order, all tough games. Villa and the Manchester Derby, and I think we're due a win against City. I think we're going to beat City in the Manchester Derby, and I think it's going to go down to the last game of the season as to who's going to finish fourth. I think the champions will know a couple of games before. But exciting times, and let's hope we can continue this momentum, because this was a United performance that I wish we'd been seeing more regularly. So yes, confident, but Liverpool are at the moment the form team. Very tough place to go to.
Yeah, very historically difficult, isn't it? And I mean, you said it then. And to be honest, I've been racking my brain all day. Would I take a point against Liverpool, or is it a must-win? So subscribe, comment in the comment box. Would you take a point against Liverpool? I want to see a yes or a no. If you say no, you think it's must-win. If you say yes, then you would be happy with a point. Hayley, what do you reckon? Is it a must-win, or would you take a point?
It's not a must-win. I mean, that's the short answer. A draw would be, by all means, fine, because the onus is on Liverpool to catch us, and we've kind of got form, or we've pulled out a fantastic performance at the perfect moment. Because if we had kind of had the obviously the FA Cup game, which was so disappointing against Arsenal, and then the Liverpool Premier League game straight after, players would have gone in there and possibly felt a bit kind of felt a bit of an underdog, and maybe it would have been a different situation mentally. But as it is, we've come off the back of our best performance this season, and we've got to go in there confident. Would I take a point? Probably I would, in the circumstances, because they're the ones chasing. Anfield is a tough place to go. Do I think we can win? Absolutely. It's a 90-minute game. Anything can happen. If our big players, our big names like Rooney and Carrick has the type of game they did today, why not? Of course we can. Equally, we're not going to be stupid about it and unrealistic, and accept the fact that we could get beat as well. It's football, and we are away, so I think it's hard to say what's going to happen. It's just going to come down to the day. Both teams are going to want it bad, because it's not just the rivalry like it has been in previous seasons. This is real now. This is about potentially a 6-point swing. If you think about it, if we win, versus them winning, that's a 6-point swing. That's massive. So it's going to be so tense and exciting. Everything. It's just going to be poured into one game, and I definitely don't want to lose. That's one thing for sure, anyway.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, a lot of people saying it depends what happens with Liverpool against Swansea, and I'm looking in the comment box now. Fred Jones says yes, he'd take a point. Flim Flam would take a point at Anfield. Paul says it's a must-win. Assad says win, more chance of second position. That's what we should be playing for. The United writer Gallian says I would accept a draw. The United man Sassy says it's a must-win, but if worse comes to worse, I'll take a point. Hello to LinkSync, who says a point against Liverpool will be good enough, considering they haven't lost a single league game this year. Yeah, that's true. Jeff says yes, but hello to Sindri, who says I'd take a point. Fred Jones says I'd love to do the double over them, but I'd take a point. And how about Flim Flan says a Rooney injury time equaliser. Rooney loves the goal at Anfield. Rooney loves the goal at Anfield. Liam, talking about Liverpool, who should we be looking out for? Who's Liverpool's main threat at the moment?
Well, I think it's safe to say Sturridge.
I said one. I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
But you're probably right, they haven't got many good ones. But anyway, yeah, I mean, definitely obviously, what Gerrard's capable of. So it's kind of, like I say, it's going to be a really hard game to call. There's so much history between them. I'm really looking forward to it as a neutral. I'm just looking at top goal scorers here. Gerrard has got 10. Sterling's got 10. Third goal scorer is Coutinho, another quick Brazilian little player. I think United should really be looking at, because Phil Jones and Smalling, whoever's going to be in that back four, however Van Gaal wants to play it, you have to really look for these quick little players, and they've got to be able to really be agile as them. Because I think it's going to be a very quick, pacey game with Sterling, Coutinho, Sturridge, presuming they'll all play together. So yeah, I think the defence, Spurs was alright. They weren't the best, but Liverpool, I think, it's going to be much more of a heated derby, and this one can go either way. So I think this will be the biggest game of the season. I think it's be a massive challenge for United if they do get top four or not.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. Shaun, looking at their players, Coutinho, Sterling, very tricky, very pacey. So looking at the team that, of course, we played today, would you worry if you saw Blindigan at left back and maybe the midfield of Carrick and Herrera?
It's fine. We'll have Valencia strangling Sterling again, if that's all right. Nah, let's not worry about them. Let's just concentrate. Let's go into the game. Not worrying about who they're going to put out. They're not all that really.
They're not all that really. They're not all that really. I want to be that optimistic.
They'll
Go on,
just up
Shaun.
their game. They'll just up their game like everybody does when it's playing United. Let's face it.
Yeah, their cup final against United again. Barry, let's come over to you, mate. To be honest, I'll put the same sort of question to you. Do Liverpool worry you at the moment, or are you quite confident going into it with who we've got? Should we go there and play our way instead of trying to play to them?
Well, we must go there and play to our strengths, but Liverpool do worry me because since the turn of the year, they've accumulated, I think, more points than any other team. So I think one's being a bit kind of narrow-minded if one says we're not worried about them. I am worried about them. I'm worried about their pace. If you said to me, pick out one player that troubles me, it's Coutinho. He's playing really well at the moment, and they've been scoring a lot of goals from outside the box, Liverpool. So they're going to be one's going to need to close them down. One thing one must say about Jones and Smalling is they do have pace. They're not the slowest centre backs. So, they're going to have their work cut out for them. But yes, I'm concerned about Liverpool. It's a tough game. And I think Anfield is a very, very hostile place to go to. I'd love to be in the crowd there. But it's a tough one. But we're Man United. We're not scared of anybody. And we go there and we play our game. And I think to go there saying, well, we're going to play it according to how they play, yes, you've got to try and snuff out their danger men, but at the same time, Liverpool are going to be looking at United and saying, oh, these guys can play a bit, and there are players in our team that will worry them. And I think a game like that is a stage that a guy like Rooney thrives in, and I'm expecting him to be a key player in that game.
Yeah, Rooney, he's playing so well at the moment, isn't he? I mean, Hayley, Rooney, Carrick, even Mata, and even Herrera. How important are these players for us at the moment to properly get on form?
Yeah, definitely. I think they all shone today, which was great to see, and the performance as a team just was great. So that's what everybody was looking for and has been looking for weeks. But against Liverpool, just everybody has to be at their absolute top of their game if we're going to get a win. And I think Rooney, his form at the minute is key, because I think a big part of the problems we were having for a while previously were obviously Rooney was in midfield for Van Gaal's own reasoning. He felt we were kind of lacking somebody a bit more. I don't know if physical is the right word. He's put Rooney in there because he felt that there was nobody else to do that job, was kind of what he kind of quoted. And we were then left with Falcao and Van Persie, for the striker position, and they've been badly out of form, and that really did cost us. So now at the minute, Rooney's up there and he's absolutely loving it. He's taking the chances he's been given. He scored a great header against Arsenal as well at the FA Cup match, and he's just he's one of those players. He can go through kind of dips in form. It is unfortunately quite a common thing for him to have a period with a couple of weeks or months where he maybe has a dry spell. But when he is in form, he's just unstoppable. I mean, that goal today was just pure desire. He wanted it more, and he's just. I think he's turned out to be a fantastic captain. I'm really happy for him. Actually, he's just kind of willing the players on. And I saw something really interesting today, sort of circulating on Twitter about Rooney gave some sort of I don't know if speech is the right word, or kind of talk to the players last night, which Fellaini apparently was quoted as saying was massive for them. Really, really spurred them on, and apparently made a big difference. So if that's true, then well done, captain. Pleased for him.
Yeah, really pleased for him. And looking towards Hayley, Liverpool, Would you play near enough the same team? What would your starting 11 be for me, please? I don't want to even think about Liverpool yet, but what team would you go for?
The difficulty is who to drop for Di Maria, because I think he should play. I don't think he's got a God-given right to be in the team, but I don't want to see Mata dropped. Rooney's got to be up top. Definitely don't want to see the Herrera Carrick partnership broken up in midfield. I think that worked so well today. I don't know if I would change anything. I mean, Rojo, he might come in at centre back for Jones, which would be absolutely fine. Nothing against Jones, but he is a little bit of a liability now and again. So yeah, maybe Rojo will come in, but apart from that, I don't really know why we would want to change things after that. Should anybody in that team be dropped? No, nobody deserves to be dropped because they all perform fantastically. So I don't know. The Di Maria one's hard. Who are we going to get in there? Would you drop Young? But that's unfair because he's looked great for us. So I don't know. Does anybody else want to offer their sentiments? I think it's a really tough one because if obviously we want to get Di Maria back in there, but who deserves to go out? I mean, again, someone will say Fellaini. He's not a fan favourite. For whatever reason. Obviously his first season at the club was not good, but I don't think he deserves to be dropped either. He was man of the match for a lot of people, so... Yeah,
you can't drop Fellaini at the moment. I'm a big believer of if there's someone in form, and fair enough, Fellaini always has a great first half and sometimes shades off in the second half, but he had such a good first half. Arsenal, him and Di Maria were our best players in the first half by an absolute mile. And again today, he was unplayable at times today. They couldn't get anywhere near him. We're saying this about Fellaini, the guy who is calling a donkey, the guy who people are calling to have the lethal injection. He's playing so well at the moment. He really is. Barry, what about your team, mate? What would you be going for? More of the same? Do you agree with Hayley? How would you pave way for Di Maria?
I would not start with Di Maria. I would have him on the bench. I don't think it's fair to drop anyone for him. And I think we've got to, against Liverpool, we're going to play one up front. We've got to play five in the midfield. My one change that I might think of would be to bring in Rafael for Valencia. That's the one change I may consider. And I think we may see Rojo come in for Jones, possibly, or even for Blint. But I would keep it pretty much the same. I'd even go so far as to say I might even start the same 11. If I had to make a change, I think Rafael, a more defensive fullback than Valencia is. And just to echo, I think Hayley said earlier, I hope Mata is not injured because he went straight down into the tunnel when he came off, and hopefully he's okay. But I think he'll keep a very similar side. We need the game against Liverpool, I think, is going to be won and lost in the midfield.
Yeah, and by the way, can I just quickly say, when Mata went off, we haven't hit on this yet, when Mata went off against Spurs today, that has got to be one of the best receptions for a player going off the pitch I have ever heard in my time supporting the club. I don't know about you, Barry, but he wasn't just being applauded and cheered when he was coming off. When he done the walk straight down the tunnel, everyone around the stadium, not just on that side of the pitch, the whole stadium was still on their feet applauding him. That was great to see, wasn't it?
I think that's a sign of what the fans think of him. I think he's a guy that gets on with it. He's been out the team for a couple of months. There are no moans and groans by him in the media. And he generally seems like a really nice fellow. He is very articulate. He writes a good blog. But I guess the most important thing, you can be all those, but you've got to do it on the field. And hopefully he will. There are goals in him. And I think hopefully we'll see a lot more. So, as soon as we start hearing that, I think all the stuff in the press, most of it's a load of nonsense. I disregard most of it. I think we were alluding to earlier Van Gaal's comments. When you watch Van Gaal in an interview, I think that what happens, he gets asked a question in English, he translates it into Dutch, he answers it in his mind in Dutch, and then he kind of retranslates it into English. So, I think it's a bit of a language barrier, and I think he's been misquoted quite a bit. So, I think we've got to leave things as they are, certainly for the rest of this season. That is for sure.
I've got to agree with you. I really do agree with that. I think Van Gaal's lost in translation a lot. Starting 11, please, guys. If you're watching, subscribe, use the comment box. A lot of you have tonight. It's great to see you out in force as normal. And you can also tweet us at the United View. Hello to that guy, Paddy, who will go with De Gea, McNair, Rojo, Smalling, Shaw, Blind, Carrick, Carrera, Mata, Di Maria, Rooney. So he would drop, by the looks of it, he would drop Fellaini, Young, Valencia, and Jones. Yeah, and Jones, by the looks of it there. That's nearly half the team out as well from today. Don't know about chopping and changing that much, Shaun. What do you think?
I think Rojo may well come back in if he's fit for Jones. I really want to see Raphael starting. He was brilliant for the under-21s on Tuesday night. I don't rate Valencia's defensive skills whatsoever. I really want to see Raphael starting, and he always seems to do something with the Scousers. Di Maria to start on the bench, keep Mata in. Yeah, just those two changes to the defence. But then again, you could argue leave it as it is, because then they've obviously got confidence today of having the clean sheet, that back five. So you've got the argument to keep the same back five. But I think if it was me, I'd like to Rojo in for Jones, Raphael in for Valencia, and keep the rest the same.
Yeah, I'm the same. For me, I will go if Rojo's fit, stick him in at centre back, keep Blind at left back. That's my only risk. Blind against Sterling, you say it and it's a mismatch even when it comes off your tongue, and then you think about it properly and it's even worse. So for me, Young has to properly be helping Blind out against Liverpool. Today he was really good, Ashley Young, in helping Daley Blind, but he's got to be even better against Liverpool. And again, Carrick needs to support, and then if Rojo or Jones are playing, they need to help out as well, because Blind really has no pace or strength at all. But however, when he has the ball at his feet, he's probably one of the best footballers in the world. He's intelligent with it. He's a really good footballer. Having a look at your teams. Hello to Gallin, who says same team that started today. However, would like Rojo back in for Jones. Hello to Paul, who says same team. Make sure it wasn't a fluke. And hello to Flim Flam, who goes with the same team as today. Fred goes with the same team and says Mata is class. There's a couple of I agree, Ben, on the chat boxes tonight. I smiled at those. Flim Flam and Jeff, good evening to you. And Sassy, the United man, goes to Gea, Raphael, Rojo, Smalling, Blind, Carrick, Carrera, Mata, Fellaini, Di Maria, Rooney. It's weird, isn't it? Di Maria for Young, Rojo for Jones, Raphael for Valencia, and then the rest for today from Paul. And Will says Raphael's playing well for the under-21s, shouldn't be used as a benchmark. My change would be Raphael for Valencia. The rest exactly the same, apart from Rojo in for Jones for me. Good win today. However, we are now looking forward to Liverpool. So, guys, let's get our minds that far ahead. It's Saturday. It's 1:30. We're just about to kick off. Hayley, what do you think the score's going to be? And goal scorers. Oh, I've thrown you in it, haven't I?
It's going to be on Sunday at 1:30, not Saturday. Hope you're going to be at the right place.
Sorry, I'm in a country that's 24 hours behind or ahead or whatever.
I'm kind of reluctant to give a prediction, because when I'm positive, that's usually when things go wrong. So I do believe we can win, but we can also lose. So yeah.
That's got to be the best punditry I have ever heard in my life. I believe we can win, but then again we can lose.
Well, you know what I mean. It's you know.
We might even draw.
I'm going to go for a safe draw. It wouldn't be, I'll be like Paul Merson. I'll sit on the fence, which is his favourite thing to do in the world, and I'll go for a 1-1 draw, which I want to win it, but, you know, we would probably take that right now. It wouldn't be a terrible thing. So I'll go for 1-1.
That was great. That's the best thing that's ever happened on this channel. That's brilliant. That's my quote of the channel. Thank you, Hayley. So that's a draw there. Let's come over to you, Liam. Sorry, we left you out the team lineups. I didn't want to put you on the spot. What do you reckon?
Oh,
the score predictions.
It's so I'd say, because obviously Man U coming back of a fantastic win and really confident, but then Liverpool in great form. Either it's just going to play out to a stalemate, 0-0 draw, or I just feel like Liverpool are going to nick it with Anfield because they really want top 4. So
Yeah, we really want top 4 as well, Liam. I'm just saying.
yeah, it's true. I think I can only see it being 0-0, 1-0, and I can't actually choose between what scoreline I want. If I'm going to say either scoreline, both scorers, I go Sturridge if they win, or United, I go for Rooney. I think it's going to be so close game.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be one of those that surprise everybody. It's like a 5-4 or a 5-3 or whatever. Barry, you're usually good with your predictions. What are you feeling ahead of Liverpool, not Sunderland?
I think I'll go for a 2-2 draw with Rooney and Mata scoring for United.
I like it. Your predictions, please subscribe, comment in the comment box. Make sure you do subscribe, by the way, either after the show or during, and tweet us at the United View. Thank you for getting us over 12,000 followers. Let us know your score predictions and your goal scorers. Shaun, go on, say Carrick.
Right, I think a bit like Hayley, really. I think we could go out there and we could win 3 or 4-0. But then again, we could lose 3 or 4-0 as well. I know exactly where Hayley is coming from.
I'll tell you what, you two are useless. I'm never having you on together again.
I just think it's one of those. It could go either way. But then, like Liam said, I think it could be a 1-0, but I don't know which way. I mean, I had no confidence about today's result whatsoever, about today's game. And for us to have won 3-0, you know, it was more of a shock than that. That was the feeling I had. It was a feeling of shock more than jubilation, let's say. And you know, I was really concerned before kickoff. I'm concerned before we play Liverpool. I want to be really positive, Ben, and say that we're going to win 6-0 and Slippy G is going to score 6 own goals. That would be fantastic. But yeah, I think I'll go with the same with what Liam said. It's going to be 1-0 either way. And I'll go with a Carrick goal.
Yeah, I knew you would. Paul goes for a bad performance from Mignolet. That's all he hopes for. Doesn't care what the scoreline is. Hello to the United man who Hayley's agreeing with. He wants a Steven Gerrard own goal and a 1-0. Oh, please. Hello to Kobe's channel who says, I love this channel. Oh, we like yours as well. Thank you very much. Hello to, he also goes with, by the way, 2-0 United, Rooney and Fellaini with the goals. Link Sync goes for a draw, either 0-0 or 1-1. Flim Flam says, come on, Hayley. Jeff goes, Hayley, will we lose 2-0 now? Hello to Sindria goes 2-1, Fellaini and Rooney to score. James goes with 2-1, Rooney and Mata. Hello to Flim Flam, who goes for a 2-all with Rooney and Fellaini. And the United Rioter Galen goes for 2-1 for United. Falcao to come off the bench and win it. Oh, how brilliant would that be? I'll pay his fee there and then. Don't worry, United, I'll cover it. By the way, can we put that on record? Do you know a lot of people tweet and they're like, okay, if we get 500 retweets or United win blah blah, then I'm going to shave my head or silly stuff like that. I'll just say this now. I'll pay Falcao's fee if he scores a win against Liverpool. I haven't got the money, have I? My girlfriend's looking at me, looking really nervous. That's not good.
Ben, you just paid to go to Cyprus, mate. I don't know if
yeah,
you
I know. I've got dagger eyes over here. I can feel them hitting the back of my neck. That's not good at all.
Do you know what? It would just cost you about 50 quid if you just got his name tattooed on your bum, something like that.
No, don't say that. No. Would you rather I get a tattoo of Falcao on my backside instead?
Or your head?
No. She said I'd rather you wouldn't do that. No, there we go. Right, I can't get that done. Sorry, guys. I'm under the thumb. There we go. And there's our predictions. I'm going to go with a United win. I'm going to go with a nice and comfortable 1-0. Oh, God. I'm going to go with Rooney to score. You can't stop him at the moment. We'll score. Whether we win, whether we don't, we'll score. Thank you very much to our panel for coming on. We'll get there. Come on, United, in just a second. Barry, thank you for staying up in South Africa.
My pleasure. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, you too, mate. Where can people find you on Twitter?
At Doc United.
At Doc United. Hayley, thank you for coming on as well. Where can people find you?
At heels _101. Almost forgot.
Apart from sitting on the fence. There we go. Sorry, I had to put that one in there. Yeah. Liam, where can people find you, mate?
You can find me at Liam P.O. Edwards. Thank you very much for having me on.
Cheers, mate. Thank you for coming on. And Shaun, where can people find you on your brand spanking new glittery Twitter account?
I'm in the doctor's surgery having the splinters pulled out. At Mr. Shaun MUFC.
At Mr. Shaun MUFC. And of course, we end every preview show with a Common United. Now, I believe, Barry, you've done one, haven't you? I believe you've done a Common United.
Nope.
Have you not done one?
No.
Okay, we'll save yours. Liam, we don't let you do one because you are a neutral. So
it would not make any sense.
No, it wouldn't at all because you wouldn't believe in it. And by the way, if you didn't see Dorshan's Common United at the end of the last preview show, it was brilliant. So good luck whoever's got it tonight. Shaun, have you done one? You done one at the very start.
I was the first one to start it. Yeah.
Yeah, you done one. Hayley, did you do one?
I have not done one. Maybe, maybe it's Shaun's a pro though. It's his shining moment.
Well,
I don't want to take that away from him.
Say, it is Shaun's first show back today since going through the whole Twitter ban. He's also been away for a month. So I think we are going to give our Common United to the guy who started this whole fan channel with me and who has come back on this evening and will be on regularly now. So Shaun, I know your kids are in bed. I know Hannah's probably gone to bed as well. I want them woken up. Right.
She's
passionate.
sat here beside me, Ben.
Oh, that's all right then. She can scream it with you. Get her in the shot and let's go together. We'll have a couples Common United, shall we? Here we go.
Yeah,
right.
go on, then.
Shaun, when you're ready, we want your Common United to end tonight's show.
Come on, United!